The morning of the bridal shoot, Lucas's first showed up, and he dropped me like a hot coal. He even dredged up a random cameraman on the spot. Keep her company for the shots, just Photoshop me in later. I stared at the man now standing in front of me, Chase, and fell into a trance. Chase smiled. Shall we shoot, then? We didn't just take the photos. We filed for a marriage license. Lucas changed his tune. Who told you to take it seriously with him? I sat on the velvet sofa, aimlessly smoothing the skirt of my wedding gown. A few yards away, my Lucas was on a call, voice tender, soothing his first. Don't cry. You know I can't stand your tears. I guess I haven't grown up at all. One sob and I surrender. Wait at home, I'll be right there. When he hung up and walked toward me, I met his eyes. His face was tight with worry. Serena, something's come up with Ashley. I've got to go. I rose. What, stage 4 cancer? Lucas frowned. Stop it. She just has a cold. Jamie, every assistant in the studio, turned to stare and whisper. I didn't look away. Right. A cold. Someone snickered. The rest of the onlookers lost it, laughter rippling through the room. Lucas glanced back, then glared at me, color rising in his cheeks. He pressed his mouth into a line, let out a cold laugh. It's only wedding photos, there's always a workaround. He strode off, caught the nearest tall guy by the sleeve, and shoved him in front of me. Shoot with this photographer for now, just paste me in later. Then he rushed out, frantic over his first, never noticing the prop he'd grabbed, was my first. That face slammed into my vision, gorgeous as ever. I swallowed, throat dry, speechless. Chase smiled, night black eyes shimmering, elegant, careless, irresistible. Brows lifted slightly, he asked softly, so we shoot together? My brain lagged. Instead of answering I countered, you work here? Chase studied me, the corner of his mouth lifting. Emery, he drawled. Then shoot. I sucked in a breath. Shoot. Lucas went to find his first. I'd shoot bridal portraits with mine, simple logic. Chase obliged and went to change. In front of the lens the photographer said in a weirdly awkward tone, relax, get cozy. I angled my head. Chase hooked an arm around my waist in one fluid move. We'd done this 1,000 times, nothing new. Pure muscle memory. Where's your Lucas? He murmured. His palm branded my back through silk. Damn, he really wanted to discuss that now. I slid his hand off a fraction and answered through a frozen smile, off chasing his first. Chase gazed at me like a love-struck groom. In the raw files we'd look like the happiest couple alive. About to turn legit. Just like us right now. Next pose, the photographer coughed. Closer, please, groom, take the lead. Before I could process, Chase's face dipped toward mine, slow and tantalizing, the way he used to kiss me. Every nerve prickled. My heart hammered. I shut my eyes. His whisper brushed my ear. Free tonight. Low, lazy, the final syllable a hook. Years had passed and the bastard could still unravel me. Shit. Under all those eyes, he had the nerve to ask. I didn't have the guts to answer. My heart ricocheted between shame and thrill. While shifting poses I leaned in and breathed. I still have Lucas. A soft scoff. His hand settled on my waist again, same ruthless, possessive grip that used to send me into orbit. What was I thinking? Fantasizing in public? His voice reeled me back. So where exactly is your Lucas now? I snapped my head up and collided with those dark, laughing eyes. Right, where was my Lucas? I answered the earlier question instead. I'm free tonight. Chase looked pleased, smile dazzling as sunlight. He hadn't changed, still magnetized me without trying. Shoot wrapped. The photographer gushed, practically bouncing. You two were born for this. Every glance, every angle, pure electricity. The groom's stare could scorch silk, and the bride matched him beat for beat, story, tension, wow. An assistant hissed, they aren't actually engaged. The photographer blinked, looked from Chase to me, then smacked his forehead. Right, total strangers, my bad. Chase stepped forward. Can I get the raw files now? The tech hesitated. We haven't retouched anything. Chase produced a black card. I'll pay extra. Coming right up. The assistant whisked the card and led him to the workstation. I changed, checked my iPhone, dozens of missed calls and iMessages, None from Lucas. Good. Perfect. I was absolutely free tonight. Outside, the city had gone dark. I asked Chase, straight to my place? Neon slid over his sculpted face. First stop, Whole Foods. My brain lurched to scandalous conclusions. I managed a nod. Okay. We walked to the nearby superstore, my first time shopping for protection with him, though he used to buy my pads without blinking. I didn't chicken out. I even pointed at the display by the checkout. It's right there. He glanced at the boxes, then at me, and paused. I wanted the floor to swallow me. Please tell me I didn't just. He gave a silent laugh. Patience. Groceries first. And tugged me inside. Holy hell, holy aunts, holy coat and scarf. I limped along mortified while he steered a cart one-handed through produce. Craving anything? I just wanted to die, quick handshake with the devil and gone. Whatever. It's snowing outside, let's do hot pot, he decided, already loading leafy greens. Next came shrimp, ribeye rolls, lamb curls, every last favorite of mine. When the cart was full he asked, "You have spare toiletries at home?" I swallowed. Yes. Let's go. He caught my hand again, as casually as when we were together. At checkout he tossed 2 boxes of protection onto the belt with the veggies. My face combusted. Chase surveyed my chef's kitchen, pots still in factory wrap, without surprise. I never cook, I can't. He didn't bother asking where things were, he'd bought spices anyway, and started prepping. The hostess camped on the velvet sofa, waiting to be fed. Still no word from Lucas. When Chase came out and saw me glaring at my silent phone, he snorted. Waiting for Lucas to call? No. I set the iPhone down. I'm afraid he will. Truth. From here the plot writes itself, and I want no encore with Lucas. Chase's smile softened. Wash up, dinner's on. Steam billowed between us, fogging my view of him and strangely thrilling me. When did you get back? I asked. He dropped blanched shiitake into my bowl. A week ago. Oh. I lifted the mushroom. His warning came half a second too late. Hot. I studied the glossy cap. So you really just happened past that studio tonight? Chase, nope. My pulse spiked, an old yet brand new sensation. Only Chase could make my heart detonate like this. Then, why did you come in? Chase's voice was still lazy. I saw you go in. The answer was exactly what I'd expected, yet it set my heart pounding even harder. I looked up at him. Chase, do you still love me? Chase stood, dropped the seared beef into my bowl, and when he leaned closest he murmured, "When did I ever stop?" Chase and I had been college classmates. The moment he set foot on campus he was already legendary because of that face. A shameless worshipper of beauty, I fell for him at first sight. But he chased me first. Like every first love, ours was beautiful and burning. We adored each other so fiercely that even decades later the memory would still scorch my heart. Yet we didn't just love, we also destroyed. Scholarships, the student body presidency, pitch competition rankings. He never gave me an inch, and I never asked for one. The war raged from campus straight into the real world. Maybe because our standards were equally sky-high and eerily aligned, we always spotted the same deal first. We fought and fought until we fought ourselves apart. I was the one who called it off. I was under crushing pressure then. Mom wanted me to rack up achievements so I could take over the family empire someday. But cousin was formidable, 5 years older, oceans more experience, and I was clearly the underdog. The project I had my eye on was snatched away by Chase. The VP seat at Vance went to cousin. For the first time I lost my temper with Chase over a deal. I demanded, "Are you still my boyfriend or not?" Chase wouldn't yield. "Serena, if I let you win, I'd be insulting you." I drew a slow breath, eyes shut. "I'm exhausted, Chase. We're done." Of course he refused. After more screaming matches I finally yelled, "Get lost." He did, straight overseas. Now no one competed with me. Right then, Lucas came home. Lucas and I had known each other since childhood, practically raised together. I knew every chapter of his love story with Ashley. They'd paired off in high school and flown abroad together after graduation. Years of tangled devotion later, when Lucas chose to return, Ashley broke up with him. Vance and the Whitmore family launched a cozy partnership. Morgan, Lucas, and I agreed to a dynastic marriage. Why, Lucas said yes. I had no idea. I only knew that if I'd lost the VP slot, I'd gun for the CEO chair. Marrying Lucas gave me extra ammunition. A year ago, the two companies announced our engagement, and stock prices soared. Today's bridal shoot was front-page news. I figured that if I hadn't watched Lucas take Ashley's call, tomorrow would be signing the marriage license. But he ran to Ashley and still hasn't called. I'm sure he's with her right now. A man and his ex, alone together. What happens needs no caption. What will happen tonight between Chase and me needs none either. After dinner, Chase rinsed plates in the chef's kitchen. I wanted to start rebuilding the year we'd lost, so I followed him in. I'll help. Chase, no need. I stood quietly to the side. Suddenly he said my name. Serena. The first time since we'd met again. My heart stuttered. What? Shoulders to the sink, voice low and absolute, he said, break the engagement with him. Duh, I muttered. Lucas must already have lost count of the rounds with Ashley. Marry him now? Revolting. Even a dynastic marriage requires clean sheets. Oh. Chase glanced over, a teasing glint in his eyes. Thought maybe you actually liked him. Sounded jealous. I rolled my eyes. So you flew back because you saw the bridal shoot headlines? He admitted freely, yep. Knew it, bastard. Then you saw last year's engagement news too. Why didn't you stop me? He set down a dish and faced me, gaze heavy. If I'd shown up then, would you have called it off? I shook my head. No. I'd been furious and stubborn. My pride said, we're done, forever. I'd entered the engagement with Lucas fully resolved. If Chase had tried to block me, we'd have crashed even harder. He knew me. He went back to scrubbing. I stepped closer. Weren't you scared something might happen between Lucas and me this past year? His hands paused, then kept moving. Didn't let myself think about it. So Mr. Generous, huh? Suddenly he dropped the sponge and looked at me. But I'm thinking now. He walked over. Did anything? Nope. Lucas doesn't want me. I don't want Lucas. What could have happened? Chase's eyes were black as the night outside. He pulled me flush against him. When I woke the next morning, Chase was beside me, eyes on his phone. A sweet, disbelieving thought hit me. This is real. It isn't a dream. I scooted closer. What are you doing? On the screen, our wedding photos from yesterday. Back when Chase and I burned hottest, I used to picture marrying him. Never imagined our bridal shots would be snapped like this. What's so fascinating? I pushed his phone down. He tipped his head. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous where? I threw off the duvet and stood over him. Still needs Photoshop. Chase bared his teeth, a playful snarl. Didn't wear you out enough last night? My cheeks flamed. I shot him a murderous glare, hand on my aching back, and limped to the bath. Behind me, triumphant laughter. He always gloats when he wins. In class or in the boardroom, we're perfectly matched. But in bed I'm outclassed. I have to watch him swagger, and it kills me. At the doorway I spun back, snarling, just wait, one day I'll finish you. Chase flipped the covers aside, arms wide, one brow cocked, a fox spirit in the flesh. Bring it. I washed up, dressed, and stepped out to find breakfast waiting. 2 bowls of greens and noodles. Chase reminded me between bites, don't forget, dump the fiancé. I went straight to Vance afterward and rode the elevator to Mom's floor. Dad founded this company. It sits under the Vance umbrella. Inside the CEO suite, Mom's face darkened as I spoke. What are you going to do? She asked. Dad looked up too. Zero hesitation. Break the engagement. Wait, no. Not break. We're dumping him. No life rafts for Lucas. After the stunt he pulled, I wouldn't gift him respectable wording. Mom nodded, proud. That's my girl. Dump him. Dad gave her a helpless smile. She's you all over again. Obviously. Like you always say, build your own dynasty, skip the dynastic marriage. I was done, rely on myself, nobody else. Fine, both of you are dynasties, you don't need me. Dad huffed, play jealous. Let Mom soothe him. We mapped the plan. Tomorrow we march to the Whitmore estate and return the ring, then I buried myself in work. It was past 8 when I finally got home. The elevator doors slid open and there was Chase, leaning against my wall. I hurried over. Why didn't you go inside? Arms folded, he lifted a brow. No code, no fingerprint, how? Such a drama queen. I tugged his hand to the scanner, added his print, and gave him the numbers. Next time just. He yanked me against him, mouth crashing onto mine as he pinned me to the door. That eager. I looped my arms around his neck and kissed back, finally admitting how much I'd missed him this year. We may still clash, still race for the same prize, but I'm never walking away again. Serena. I thought I heard my name through the rush of his breath, must be illusion. Chase tore his lips free and hauled me tighter. I followed his gaze. Lucas stood there, face atomic red. He detonated, charging us. Chase stepped forward, caught Lucas's incoming fist mid-swing, and hammered a right hook into his face. The impact was so heavy that Lucas was knocked straight to the floor. He scrambled up like a madman and lunged at Chase again, cursing non-stop. You son of a bitch. You touched my woman, I'll kill you. Chase sent him crashing back down with another kick. Planting one shoe on Lucas's gut, Chase spoke in a low, glacial tone that allowed zero argument. Serena was never yours. Lucas spat blood, smeared it from his mouth, and glared at me. Serena, you two-timing. His insult died in a yelp as Chase pressed harder, grinding his heel in as if he meant to finish the job. You know exactly what you did. Watch your mouth. Chase withdrew his foot, caught my hand, unlocked the door with the print he just recorded, and pulled me inside before shutting it. Urgent pounding broke out at the studio entrance. Annoyed, I started to chase whoever it was away, but Chase cradled my face. Focus. I have no idea when the knocking stopped. A year apart had made Chase dangerously irresistible. Only while we were eating did I notice Lucas had slunk off at some point. I never wanted to see him again, yet the dynastic marriage breakup would still force a meeting. But Mom called to say she and Dad would handle it. Once everything was dissolved, she rang again. All done, we only need to time the press release. She added, I never cared for that Lucas boy, yet we can't openly declare war on the Whitmore family, appearances matter. I understood. Unnecessary enemies are bad business. Mom, tell Dad I'm fine, actually, I'm better than fine. She laughed, proud. I know you are. My daughter's head is all business now, that makes me proud. I stayed silent, guilt pricking me. Truth was, my calm wasn't entirely because I'd thrown myself into work. Of course I didn't give a damn about Lucas. What mattered was Chase being back. Lately I couldn't wait to spoil him rotten. Mom's voice floated over the line again. But don't let work consume you. Eat, play, fall in love. Life isn't only about the boardroom. Relax, I absolutely will date. A pause. Is there already someone on the horizon? I cleared my throat. Mom, I've got to run, bye. I hung up fast. Arms snatched my waist from behind. The devil himself pressed to my back, scattering kisses along my neck. Engagement officially dead. I'm ticklish, I squirmed away, teasing, not yet. Chase's lips on my shoulder stilled, then he bit, hard. His large hand slid under my blouse. I trapped his wrist, towed him to the velvet sofa, and shoved. He cooperated beautifully, sitting obedient while I straddled him exactly how I liked it. My iPhone chose that second to blare Lucas demanding to see me. Chase's hands turned to iron around my hips. You're not going. One last time, I said, kissing him. I still have a score to settle. He'd disgraced me in front of that camera. If Chase hadn't walked in, Lucas would have forced me to finish bridal shots with any random assistant. I wouldn't, swallow that insult. Lucas picked a quiet cafe, perfect for a scene. He opened with, who the hell was that guy, Serena? We were together a year and I never even held your hand, yet you were swallowing his tongue. Remember, we're getting married? ? He wet his lips, nodding. Okay, leaving you mid-shoot to find Ashley was wrong. But Serena, you know how deep Ashley and I go. She came back pregnant, how could I abandon her? He exhaled. Ashley's expecting. My brain stacked question marks, then he added, the kid isn't mine. I blurted. Huh. He met my stare. Relax, Mrs. Whitmore is still you, no one else gets the title. I just can't turn my back on Ashley. She's alone, carrying a baby. Right now I'm all she has. Another beat, heavier breathing, his gaze earnest. About you and that guy, one slip, I'll overlook it, but never again. Suddenly he snapped his fingers. That man's the random photographer I grabbed for you, isn't he? I get it, you lashed out. I admit I pushed you, I cut him off. Has your Mr. Sterling spoken to you? Rhetorical. Lucas blinked. Spoken about what? I straightened. Then I'll deliver the news. Lucas, I'm not marrying you. His eyes narrowed. Come again. I smiled. Meaning, I refuse these worn-out sneakers. Lucas shot to his feet. Who are you calling worn out? Every head turned. He sat again, voice low. Serena, you know the nature of our dynastic marriage, quit the tantrum. And I'm not wedding Ashley. I, Lucas, do not marry divorcees. As for her and me, yes, we slept together, but you banged the photographer, so we're even. I walked over with my bag. Thinking I'd caved, he lifted his chin. Serena, know why I came? I asked sweetly. He smiled. We grew up together. You always choose the bigger picture, that's why you'll make the perfect Mrs. Whitmore. Wrong. I grinned. I came to give you something. Before he could ask what, I cracked my palm across his face. Every customer stared. Lucas went scarlet, then white, gaping. That's for the humiliation in the studio. Bother me again and childhood ties won't spare you. He stood frozen long enough for me to reach the sidewalk before he chased me and seized my wrist. Serena, get lost. I jerked free and slid into the Tesla idling at the curb. Chase started the motor. All cleaned up. I nodded. Ham. He closed a warm hand over my pulse, thumb brushing slow circles. Then may I call on Mr. Sterling? All casual laziness gone, his face was dead serious. I've wanted to do this for a while. I knew what he meant. If I hadn't lost that pitch competition to him last year, and with it the Vance vice presidency, we might already be engaged. Still, I worried. What if we break up again in the heat of another fight? I won't, he said, clear and absolute. He was pinning the blame on me, and fair enough. He folded my fingers inside his. I know your fear. Some days I wonder if I should just let you win, let you have every deal. After we split, I asked myself that daily. Serena, I can surrender, I'd surrender for life if you asked. But the world isn't only me, and my surrender won't help you conquer it. I nodded. I know. When we parted, I hadn't blamed him for refusing to lose. I was furious at being outplayed by cousin and took it out on him. My mistake, and I own it. Chase, I won't toss breakup threats around anymore. Well, listen to that, it only took a year. He teased, eyes smiling. Mom had never known I'd dated, let alone that Chase existed. I'd planned to parade him only after I'd finally crushed him in business. A year later, that competitiveness felt childish. Mom, predictably, approved of Chase heartily. She and Chase's parents picked a date for dinner to lock down our wedding. Alone again, I joked, if we'd just married back then, Grandfather Vance would have been so thrilled he might have handed me the VP slot. Excitement bubbled up. Think he'd skip straight to CEO? Chase flicked my forehead. Confused again, are you marrying me or merging shares? I pouted. Wrong word choice, this isn't a dynastic marriage, it's a power alliance. He ruffled my hair. I'll run the bath, care to join me? I leapt up. No can do, I have unfinished business. Lend me your MacBook. Chase. I darted into his study. No way was I sharing a bath with him. I knew the password to Chase's MacBook, my name in Pinion plus his birthday. For months I'd had my eye on a new deal. I'd planned to partner with Lucas, but now I was going to snatch it for myself. I hadn't meant to snoop, yet the moment I spotted a folder tagged with my name and a date I clicked without thinking. Inside were photos of me taken over the past year, and intel on Lucas. Even the times Lucas and Ashley had reached out to each other, how many messages they'd exchanged, he had it all. He also knew the exact day Ashley had flown back. I remembered Chase telling me his own return date. It matched Ashley's. I used to think Chase could sit still forever. Turns out he'd been watching my every move. Back then Lucas and I had only announced the dynastic marriage, no big maneuvers, so Chase had stayed hidden. He walked in, caught me scrolling through the files and photos, and didn't look the least bit sheepish. I slanted him a glance. If I marry Lucas, will you crash the wedding and steal me back? Chase cleared his throat, then turned righteous. That Lucas is trash. What's wrong with stealing the bride? I flicked my fingers. Out. I'm busy. This project was mine, period. I'd assumed Lucas would stay tangled up with Ashley a while longer. Instead, he'd been tracking the same target. I'd underestimated his hunger. We next met at a midtown cocktail gala. Lucas came over with Ashley on his arm. Neither of them could hide a thing. Their faces were billboards. Lucas wore the look. You blew it. Now watch me with another woman. Too late to cry. Ashley's eyes gloated. I gave you a year and you blew it. Lucas is still mine. Why did fate stick me between two idiots? I almost laughed out loud. Smirking would only prove I was the grown-up. I bit my lip to smother the laugh and watched them approach. Lucas scanned my sides and sneered. Flying solo? Where's your little side piece? Before I could answer, he supplied, oh right, he's just a photographer. No way he could get past reception. Lucas released Ashley, stepped close, and murmured against my ear, regret calling off our engagement for a cameraman yet? Serena, I'll give you one more chance. Beg me now and Mrs. Whitmore is still yours. I turned straight to Ashley. He says if I soften up, the Mrs. Whitmore title goes back to me. Lucas's face turned green. Ashley's expression was a whole color wheel. Stop making things up, Lucas snapped, retreating to her side. Don't listen to her. Ashley's pride was cracked, but she clung to his arm like Velcro. Later, when I slipped to the ladies' room, she barged in to warn me off Lucas. I laughed. And you're warning me as what, the mistress? She'd climbed back into his bed while he was still my fiancé. Ashley lifted her chin. Lucas has always loved me. The one without love is the mistress. I had nothing. With that worldview, she'd already left the human race. She and Lucas deserved each other. Ashley, if Lucas truly loved you, why did he dump you and fly back alone? She gritted her teeth, glaring. If you want to keep lying to yourself, fine. Doesn't touch me. I'll enjoy the show when you two implode. I love good drama. But kindly note, your ever-faithful prince told me personally he'd never bring a divorced woman into the family. Think it over. I freshened my lipstick and walked out. Chase rarely shows at these things. Word is the sterling heir is low-key, almost mythic since his year abroad. Some say he left to build overseas empires, proof of vision worthy of the sterling crown. Others whisper he left to lick wounds inflicted by first. Whatever the truth, Chase is absent yet everywhere. Tonight the crowd buzzed about him again. Everyone wants in with the wunderkind. Who on earth was Mr. Sterling's first? When I drifted back into the ballroom, I heard Lucas prying into Chase's romantic history. The man chuckled. Interested in partnering with him, Whitmore? Lucas smiled thinly. The guy nodded, understanding. Interesting. Lucas wants to cooperate with Chase. They just traded punches, and Chase could barely stand the sight of him. After the gala, I said goodbye to a few power players and headed for my Tesla. Lucas followed. Ashley wasn't with him. Serena, he called, I know you're chasing the Yukuan project. I'm after it too. I thought he'd propose teaming up again. Instead he said, I'll step aside if you revive our engagement. Deal? I glanced past him. Ashley stood outside the plaza doors, watching, pensive. Before I could answer, a familiar voice drifted over. Ready, darling? Lucas's eyes narrowed when he saw Chase, then scoffed at the sports car idling curbside. Serena, you're bankrolling a man who can't even buy his own ride. Think hard. Oh, and Chase is back in town, did you know? I looked at Chase. No. I'd slept with him. Lucas oozed confidence. I'm about to partner with him. With sterling backing, ask yourself who offers more, me or that photographer. He laughed. Granted, he shoots better pictures. 1 week. Decide. He gave a cryptic smile and left. I turned to Chase. Neither of us spoke. Only after we settled into the Tesla did he ask, where did your mom dig up that clown for a fiancé? I felt personally insulted. A week later Lucas summoned me again. I knew I should ignore the waste of oxygen. Yet life gets dull. An occasional idiot is pure entertainment. He'd picked the Whitmore Vineyard estate for the meeting. The moment I sat he poured red wine. Try it. I bottled it myself. I beamed. Wow, so talented. Lucas flushed, half-second of innocence, then swelled. Serena, have you thought it through? I swirled the glass. So this whole week you did nothing but wait for my text. He held my gaze. Exactly. No wonder, I murmured. He blinked. No wonder what? I bagged Yukuan, I said sweetly. If you hadn't sat idle, giving me clear road, I might not have closed so fast. Lucas opened his mouth. I kept talking. Your inertia saved me minutes. I'm grateful. He's no fool, he got it. I'd flattened him in minutes. His brow knit. Meaning? I tilted my head. Meaning you're not worthy to be my rival. Lucas shot up. So you refuse to resume the engagement? I gave the admiring blink again. Wow, brilliant deduction. Serena, you played me. He was livid. But arrogance reset quickly. It's only Yukuan. You think I care? I was going to let it slide for old time's sake. You asked for war. He stormed off, vows of doom trailing. Thanks to the clown my fatigue had evaporated. I'd monitored Yukuan for months, drafted endless pitch decks, outmaneuvered several rivals, signed the term sheet 2 days ago. Big win plus upcoming spectacle, life was delicious. I hunted down Chase to celebrate. His parents were there, a surprise. They'd come to witness Chase formally ascend as Sterling CEO. His mother squeezed my hand. Taking the crown before he marries you, now he's good enough. Old money families all play the same blood sport. I just hadn't expected Chase, after a year abroad, to seize the throne the moment he landed. His trip abroad was definitely not just because he was heartbroken over our breakup. Sure enough, after Chase's parents left, he confessed everything to me. The main reason I went overseas really was for the company's expansion. It just happened to line up with the moment you wanted to break up, and I couldn't split myself in two, so I flew out first. He cleared his throat, dropped his gaze, and stared up at me like a pitiful puppy, pitiful Ashla style. But I didn't want to lose you, so I had Lucas investigated on the down low. I rolled my eyes. So that rumor about you fleeing the country because first devastated you, you planted that. Chase nodded carefully. Yeah. For your ears only. And he still acted like he was in the right. You blocked me. Was I supposed to disappear for a whole year? What if you forgot me? There was no way I'd let this slide. I had to mess with him a little or I'd burst. I get it. The CEO seat matters more to you than I do. The look he gave me turned razor sharp. If I couldn't even snatch the CEO title, would you still marry me? I know you, Serena. Your standards for a partner are sky high, gotta be handsome, ripped, low-key and mysterious, cook like a dream, and be crazy capable. If I'd lost to my half-brothers, you'd never have looked at me twice. The more he talked, the more wronged he sounded. Yet somehow it felt like he was complimenting himself. I remembered telling him, back when we'd just started dating, that my ideal type was the domineering CEO straight out of a novel, perfect in every way. My future husband had to be like that to deserve me. He'd apparently taken that checklist to heart. Now I was the awkward one. I was just rambling. I was young and loved to fantasize, okay? Chase straightened to his full height. Oh, so I don't have to act like an untouchable god anymore? Of course not. You're not a deity. He suddenly leaned to my ear. So can I use the bathroom in front of you from now on? Get lost. Asterisk. Chase took me out to celebrate my winning the Yukuan project. We never expected to run into Lucas at the Vance entrance. Lucas was pleading with reception, just 10 minutes with Mr. Sterling, please. I'm begging you, let me see him. I tugged Chase forward. Lucas. Lucas froze when he saw us together. Serena. You're here for Mr. Sterling too? Are you deliberately sabotaging me? He raked his eyes over Chase. A grown man proud to be a woman's accessory? Pathetic. Get lost. This isn't a place for your kind. The instant the words left his mouth, a security captain stepped up and bowed deeply to Chase. CEO, I'll remove him immediately. Lucas's sneer froze. He stood there slack-jawed, staring at Chase. Finally he stammered, CEO? You're. The guard clarified, this is Chase, the newly appointed CEO of Sterling Group. Lucas's eyes bulged. You're Chase. His face drained of color, he swallowed hard. How can you be Chase? You too, he looked at me in disbelief. I thought first destroyed you. Serena, when did you two get together? Chase tucked me against him. Allow me to introduce my first, Serena. And, he added proudly, I'm Serena's first. Before Lucas could process it, security dragged him out. Mr. Sterling, let me explain. Serena, speak up for me, we grew up together, Chase cursed. If he hadn't played the childhood card, I wouldn't be this mad. Seeing me watch Lucas being hauled off, he bumped my shoulder with his. Still staring. Enjoy the show? I nodded. Very. Having a clueless idiot as part of our little drama is entertaining. Chase snorted. Entertaining Maya ***. He'd dropped the ice-cold CEO act and gone gloriously off script. Back in the Tesla, he suddenly leaned over, dead serious. Serena, I need to tell you something. I nodded. Shoot. I'm actually not domineering at all, and I'm definitely not cool. Will you still like me? His eyes shone with hope. I bit back a grin. Yes, yes. Then, he cleared his throat, tentative. If I'm a total lovesick idiot, will you still like me? I could barely hold my laughter. I pressed my lips tight and nodded. Yes. Chase exhaled in relief and hugged me. You're amazing. For a second I felt like I didn't know him. But that was even better, more thrilling, right? ***. When Lucas found me again, he looked wrecked, all swagger gone. Serena, put in a good word with Mr. Sterling, please. Everyone knows I crossed him, no one will work with me. Even my family's ready to cut me loose. I'm desperate. He played the nostalgia card. We grew up together. Help me, okay? I'm begging. I shook my head. Nope. After the way he humiliated me in the studio, he expects me to vouch for him? Do I look like a doormat? Don't contact me again. I don't want to see you. I walked away. Lucas did stop calling. But one afternoon I spotted him on the street, screaming at Ashley. I gave you buckets of money and a house, now you won't even sell it to bail me out? Ashley shielded her belly. Those were gifts. And didn't you tell everyone you'd never take second-hand goods? Why are you groveling to this second-hand woman? Lucas, I won't help. I feel nothing for you. I regret ever loving you, you make me sick. Get lost. She shoved him and marched off, then caught sight of me. Chin high, she strode over. Sam, thanks for the heads up. I've got cash and a baby on the way, life's pretty sweet. As for Lucas, if you want him back, go ahead. I'm done. I shrugged. If you don't want him, neither do I. Ashley, ***. Ashley flew overseas again. She sold the condo, pocketed Lucas's money, and can live comfortably abroad with her child for life. I have zero opinion on her choices, none of my business. Because Lucas kept hounding me, Chase released every shred of proof that Lucas had been engaged to me while still entangled with his ex. The Whitmore family's stock price nosedived, and the board instantly cut Lucas loose. He's now a pariah, a cockroach everyone avoids. Whatever happens next is on him. ***. Chase started planning our wedding. 1 week before we filed the papers, he handed me a contract, transferring every asset he owned into my name. I wasn't exactly shocked, but I still asked, why sign everything over? His handsome face stayed perfectly calm. It's all yours. Isn't that what you like? From now on, whatever you want, I'll get it. I told you, I'm kind of a lovesick fool. The corner of my eye twitched and I laughed dryly. Kind of. This was full-blown. What are you doing? Suddenly on guard, he said, you promised you'd still like me even if I'm a lovesick fool. Keep your word. If you really crave competition, fine, we can keep sparring like before. I won't go easy, don't worry. Just remember, whatever I win, I hand straight to you. Does that bore you, Serena? Am I too dull now? I shook my head. Not at all. I hugged him and patted his head like a puppy. He'd self-rewired his brain so hard I almost pitied him. Babe, confidence, okay? I love you any way you come. Chase instantly straightened, swagger restored. On our wedding day, Grandfather Vance appointed me CEO of Vance Media, my reward for landing the Yukuan deal. Okay, maybe my marrying Chase helped a smidge. I wanted to earn it solo, But when your husband's that powerful, it's out of your hands. My capable hubby whispered in my ear mid-ceremony. I feel like crying. What do? I tilted my head, half amused, half helpless. Then cry. Tears sprang to Chase's eyes. He crushed me in his arms. Wifey, my dream finally came true. I laughed against his chest. And what dream is that? He pressed a soft kiss to my hair. To be Serena's one and only devoted knight. Thanks for listening to today's story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.